All right, first and foremost, we give all praises, all honor, and all glory unto the Most High God, Yahweh. We do so in the name of His only begotten Son, who the world calls Christ. Yahweh Shai, it's your brother, chief priest, Al-Azhar ben Lawyer, a.k.a. the Guerrilla Hebrew.
It's the brother Hassan.
Back at y'all with another live class. As y'all know, on Tuesday nights, we go into the history of Israel. Okay, yesterday we went over a lesson of Sicarii, went over the portion of the gospel. We're going to go into a history portion tonight. And on the Shabbat, we're going into, which is Thursday night, we're going into a Torah portion. So, just so y'all can understand how we're doing it now, if you haven't familiarized with, basically the new format of how we're doing things, where we're trying to hit y'all 3 times a week with the portions, and then of course we have Situation Room, Most High will, tomorrow evening with Deacon Akago Yum. I'm sure I'm sure you got somebody lined up to debate or something to that effect. So, of course, that's how we're trying to break y'all off, man, through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, and keep the flock fed. All right? So, throughout everybody who's joining us, again, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai Thumb, call all Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. But yeah, we have a few chapters of the history of the nation of Israel, because, again, it's very important that we familiarize ourselves with our history. All right? That's of the utmost importance, that we understand the history of being the Hebrew Israelite that we claim to be. We are the Israelites, right? So we have to understand our history. We have to know where we come from to understand where we're going, right? So it's very important, saying we're going over the gospel, teaching of Yahweh Shai, going over the law, the instructions that the Most High gave us to live our life by, etc. All of these things are important for our walk as Hebrew Israelites, as we aim to please the Most High Yahweh, right? Learning from the mistakes of our forefathers who misstepped and displeased the Most High and caused His wrath to be incurred upon them. See? So, just kind of wanted to go over that quickly. But let's start with the book of Numbers. And we're going to start at 25. We're going to read 25, 26, and 27 in the book of Numbers. Some of my favorite chapters in the Bible right here. So go ahead.
This is Numbers 25.
You're going to have to read louder, because what the mic is at.
This is Numbers 25. And Israel abode in Shittim, and the people began to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab.
You see that? They began to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab. What type of whoredom is this? This is spiritual whoredom, meaning Moab had idols that our people were starting to worship. Okay, you see our people doing that now. You see niggas worshiping Buddha now.
Yeah.
A Negro worshiping Buddha. Imagine that, right? Negro want to be Asian. Wesley Snipes used to want to be Chinese. Who remembers that? When Wesley Snipes had a huge... he went from wanting to be an Egyptian to want to be Chinese, right? Read on. We read about we read that one last Tuesday, right? Sean Antonio. So go ahead.
It says, and they call the people unto the sacrifices of their gods.
To this, they want to come and teach you their system, their form of worship, their religion. We started to consent to the religion of the Moabites, right? Read on.
And the people did eat and bow down to their gods.
And our people committed idolatry. We were committing heinous idolatries on multiple times in the wilderness. Why it took us so long to get to the land? The Most High had to, and this is the same thing now. It's taking us a long time to get to back to the promised land, because our people are dead set on idolatry. Right? So read on.
And Israel joined himself unto Baal Peor.
Right? Baal Peor. A specific deity of the people of Moab, right? Let me take a look at that. I want to look up the Hebrew meaning of Baal Peor, so we can understand what Baal Peor is, or what that name means. We know Baal means Lord, the Lord of the gap. It says the Lord of the gap. Let me take a look at this word for Peor. The cleft, a mountain peak in Moab, belonging to, okay, so basically there was a certain place in Moab called Peor, and he was the deity of that place, so he was called Baal Peor. All right, read on.
It says, and Yahweh said unto Moses, take all the heads of the people and hang them up before Yahweh against the sun, that the fierce anger of the Lord may be turned away from Israel. And Moses said unto the judges of Israel, slay ye every one his men that were joined unto Baal Peor. And behold, one of the children of Israel came and brought unto his brethren.
Wait, read that part again.
This is Numbers 25 and 5. And Moses said unto the judges of Israel, slay ye every one his men that were joined unto Baal Peor.
So you go to your men, the people that are under your care, right, under your jurisdiction that went into this idolatry and kill them. Hang their heads up. Why would the Most High have him go to this extreme? It's very simple. To be an example of what not to do. Read.
Come. And Moses, verse 6, and behold, one of the children of Israel came and brought unto his brethren a Midianitish woman.
Here's a Midianite woman. She's not a Moabite woman, but she's a heathen woman. She's one of Abraham's children, though, right? Midianites are Abraham's kids, but they're not Israelites. This is a Midianitish woman. This is a black Shemitic woman, right? Not an Arab one, a black Shemitic woman. Read.
A Midianitish woman in the sight of Moses.
And Moses sees this Midianitish woman come with a child of Israel. This heathen woman come with a child of Israel. Read on.
And in the sight of all the congregation of the children of Israel.
All the Israelites saw this man bring this heathen woman. Right? Read on.
Who were weeping before the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And when Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, saw it, he rose up from among the congregation.
He brought her around that temple. Well, at that time it was a tabernacle, so a tent-based temple. But he brought her around that. And Phinehas, right, which is the grandson of Aaron, somebody who's in line to be high priest, he witnesses this, right? Read on.
He rose up from among the congregation and took a javelin in his hand.
And he said, wait a minute. You're not going to bring this heathen woman amongst the congregation. That's what you're not going to do. What does amongst the congregation mean? Amongst the congregation does not mean among Israelites in general. No. Amongst the congregation has to do with the spiritual servant. Right? So what happened was he tried to bring this heathen woman amongst where our people are worshiping and serving the Most High. It says when they're weeping before the door of the tabernacle. So this just isn't any time, right? Read on.
It says, and he went after the man of Israel into the tent. And
he went and found that nigga. Read.
And thrust.
Salakia. Who is that? D-Mac. How about Shemi Abashabarakatawa? Go ahead.
And thrust both of them through.
He killed him dead. In the spirit of a true Levitical priest, he killed that Negro and that heathen dead. Read on.
And thrust both of them through. Salakia. The man of Israel and the woman.
Not just the man of Israel and the woman. Read on.
Through her belly. So the plague was stayed from the children of Israel.
Why? So the Most High would stop jacking Israel up, because that was the exact behavior that the Most High was plaguing Israel for. Getting with these heathens, following their gods, learning their ways. The Most High did not want us doing that. So read.
And those that died in the plague were 24,000.
24,000 Israelites died. Because 24,000 Israelites worship the gods of Moab. Let that be a cautionary tale. Anybody who wants to not turn from the worship of the gods of the heathen will be killed in the same way by the Most High when it's all said and done. Right? So read.
It says in verse 10, and Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, hath turned my wrath away from the children of Israel.
So here we have. That brother's, it was, in that instance, he was a savior. Right? Read on.
It says, had turned my wrath away from the children of Israel, while he was zealous for my sake among them.
That's right. That proves that you got to be a zealot for the Most High. Right? Because that turns away the wrath of God from his people, to be a zealot for the Most High. Read on.
It says, for my sake among them, that I consume not the children of Israel in my jealousy. It says, wherefore say, behold, I give unto him my covenant of peace, and he shall have it, and his seed after him, even the covenant of an everlasting priesthood.
That's right. That's called the Levitical priesthood. This is what got us this impenetrable priesthood. Right? Tribe Ephraim, this is what got us, the tribe of Levi. What got us that was that when Phinehas saw this man try to bring a heathen woman into our congregation, he killed them both. That's what got us the priesthood. That we consistently stood for Yahweh. Right? So now, under the priesthood and the order of Melchizedek, all the tribes need to be doing that same thing. All the tribes need to zealously stand for the Most High.
Okay.
Right? So go ahead.
Precept. This is which Yahweh Shai fulfilled this in John the 2nd chapter, Psalm 69:9. For the zeal of thine house hath eaten me up, and the reproaches of them that reproach thee are fallen upon me. And that goes into remember when Yahweh Shai upbraided the men in the temple. So even we have the Lord and Savior Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. He was zealous.
That's right.
Doing similar things that the brother Phineas was doing. Not necessarily killing people, but harming people nonetheless.
That's right.
Most High God. That's
right. Doing something extreme because they were doing something improper in a place of worship. Right? So read.
It says, verse 14.
Stro Boogie. Yabashim Yashar Barakatah Wathawada. Go ahead.
Now the name of the Israelite that was slain, even that was slain with the Midianitish woman, was Zimri, the son of Salu, a prince of a chief house among the Simeonites.
Amongst who?
The Simeonites.
This damn Dominican. This is the beginning of the Haitian and Dominican issues right here. Okay? But the tribe of Simeon, the so-called Dominican man, he's very idolatrous. Not saying Levi is not also, don't get it wrong. But Simeon is very much so given into the idols, specifically of the heathen, Caesar Borgia, and things of that nature. So it's not something that's outside of their prior backslidings that we're reading about, right? So read.
It says, in the name of the Midianitish woman that was slain was Cosby, the daughter of Zer.
Well, you get Bill Cosby from the plan. Go ahead.
He was head over a people and a chief house in Midian. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, vex the Midianites and smite them, for they vex you with
So God said, vex them and smite. Well, where's the love?
Yeah, that's...
What about give them the gospel and teach them? Why don't we teach them the gospel? No, it say, read it again.
Vex the Midianites.
Vex them, man. And do what?
And smite
Go
them.
and attack these people and destroy and kill these people, man. That's what God said to do. Read on.
Yeah, us. Anyway, verse 18. For they vex you with their wiles.
They vex you with their wiles. The things that they do, they vex us. That's what God said. When people vex you, vex and smite them. You see that? But where's the love in that?
Yeah.
For all nations. No, he said, Israel, you vex Israel. I'm going to tell Israel to vex and smite you. Not just vex you, but kill you also. Get rid of you.
Yeah, this is ethnic
cleansing. Ethnic cleansing in the Bible. All ethnic cleansing is all throughout the Bible. The Canaanite, the Midianite, the Edomite, the Amalek is the Edomite. All kind of ethnic cleansing throughout this Bible. Read on.
Yes, it's like, but when you read Wisdom of Solomon, the 12th chapter, it literally says God made us ethnically cleanse the land of Israel, which was known as the land of Canaan, so that it could receive a worthy colony. That's what the Most High God did. Ethnically cleansed the land and used us to do it.
That's right.
I'll read verse 18 again. For they vex you with their wiles, wherewith they have beguiled you in the matter of Peor, and in the matter of Cosby, the daughter of a prince of Midian, their sister, which was slain in the day of the plague of Peor's sake, or for Peor's sake, verse chapter Numbers 26:1. And it came to pass after the plague that Yahweh spake unto Moses and unto Eleazar the son of Aaron the priest, saying, take the sum of all the congregation of the children of Israel from 20 years old and upward throughout their father's house, all that are able to go to war in Israel. And Moses and Eleazar the priest spake with them in the plains of Moab by Jordan near Jericho, saying, take the sum of the people from 20 years old and upward, as Yahweh commanded Moses.
Meaning when you're 20 years old, the Most High said you're ready to go to war. A 20-year-old brother, your 20-year-old brother of all the tribes, he's ready to go to war. He's ready to be a killing instrument for Yahweh. Right? Read on. And we know that because niggas 20 years old catching, well, nowadays, nigga 15. Some niggas 12, 13 catch a body. Right? Read.
As the Lord commanded Moses, and the children of Israel went forth from out of the land of Egypt. Reuben, the eldest son of Israel, the children of Reuben, Hanak, of whom cometh the family of the Hanakites, of Palu, the family of the Paluites, of Hezron, the family of the Hezronites, of Carmi, the family of the Carmites. These are the families of the Reubenites, and they that were number of them were 43,000.
So here you modern day now they're called a Seminole Indian, but there was 43,000 of these brothers. that went to war in this instance, right? Read on.
In 730.
Uh-huh.
And the sons of Palu, Eliab. And the sons of Eliab, Nemuel, and Dathan, and Abiram. That is that Dathan and Abiram, which were famous in the congregation, who strove against Moses and against Aaron in the company of Korah, when they strove against the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up together with Korah. When that company died, what time the fire devoured 250 men, and they became a sign.
Mm-hmm.
Notwithstanding, the children of Korah died not.
Mm-hmm. So what God is letting you know is, yes, I killed a lot of them, but Korah's children did not die. He did not kill the children of Korah. Right? Read on.
It says, verse 12, the sons of Simeon, after their families, of Nemuel, the family of the Nemuelites, of Jamin, the family of the Jaminites, of Jachin, the family of the Jachinites, of Zerah, the family of the Zerahites, of Shaul, the family of the Shaulites. These are the families of the Simeonites, 20 and 2,200.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 15, the children of Gad, after their families.
So like that was the so-called Dominican man going to war. All right, read on. Now here are the Gadites, the Native American man that's gearing up for this war. Read on.
It says the children of Gad after their families, of Zephon, the family of the Zephonites, of Haggai, the family of the Haggites, of Shuni, the family of the Shunites, of Ozni, the family of the Oznites, of Ari, the family of the Ariites, of Arad, the family of the Aradites, of Areli, the family of the Areliites. These are the families of the children of Gad, according to those that were numbered of them, 40,500.
Go ahead.
The sons of Judah were and
Here the
Onan.
so-called African American man, the so-called African, so like it, the so-called African American, the so-called Negro man here in America, right? Tribe of Judah, right? Read on.
And and Onan died in the land of Canaan.
Uh-huh.
And the sons of Judah after their families were of Shelah, the family of the Shelonites, of Pharez, the family of the Pharezites, of Zerah, the family of the Zarhites. And the sons of Pharez were of Hezron, the family of the Hezronites, of Hamul, the family of the Hamulites. These are the families of Judah according to those that were numbered of them, 16,500. Damn, Judah's
deep. Judah's always going to be the deepest tribe. You're going to see anytime the tribes get numbered, you're going to see Judah being the deepest tribe, and that's as it is this same day. Right? Read on.
I think they're about as big as Gad and Simeon put
together, yeah. It's about.
Verse 23. Of the sons of Issachar after their families, of Tola, the family of the Tolaites, of Pua, the family of the Punites, of Jashub, the family of the Jashubites, of Shimron, the family of the Shimronites.
The so-called Mexican man, right? Read.
These are the families of Issachar according to those that were numbered of them, 3,4,300. Of the sons of Zebulon.
So 3,4,000. See that the Issachar was also deep. Yeah. We see the tribe of Issachar deep and have a lot of numbers today, right? Read on.
Of the sons of Zebulon after their families, of Sered, the family of the Sardites.
These are the so-called Central Americans, right? Read the Mayans. Read on.
Of Elon, the family of the Elonites. Of Jaleel, the family of the Jaleelites. These are the families of the Zebulonites according to those that were numbered of them, 3,500. The sons of Joseph after their families were Manasseh and Ephraim. Of the sons of Manasseh, of Machir, the family of the Machirites, and of Machir begat Gilead. Of Gilead come the family of the Gileadites. These are the sons of Gilead, of Jezer, the family of the Jezerites.
Wait, hold that. Give me Ezra 2 real quick. So we deal with the Gileadites, right? That Manasseh, correct?
Yeah.
They called. So Manasseh, Gilead is the so-called Cuban man, right? So watch this. We'll go into that real quick.
Ezra 2, where you want me to start?
Shout out to the tribe of Zebulon too. Zebulon on the rise. Ezra 2, let's start at about 59. We're going to read probably into 63, 64. Right, so go ahead.
It's Ezra 2 and 59. It said, and these were they which went up.
Let me see. Maybe 62. I think just 62 might be the point. 61. 61, we'll read to 63. Go ahead.
It's Ezra chapter 2, verse 61.
Read on.
And of the children of the priests, the children of Habiah, the children of Kaz, the children of Barzillai, which took a wife of the daughters of Barzillai, the Gileadite.
The who?
The Gileadite.
So he had a wife that was of the tribe of Manasseh, right? So read.
And was called after their name.
But what happened was, for whatever reason, the children of those of that relationship were being called Gileadites, right? Maybe because they lived in Gilead, whatever. They were closer to the Manassites than the Levites. They became called Gileadites, right? But they're Levites. Read.
These sought their register among those that were reckoned by genealogy, but they were not found.
They couldn't find it. They weren't reckoned as Levites. They lived in Gilead. They were being viewed as Manassites. All right? How do we see this today? There are a considerable amount of Levites in Cuba today. A considerable amount of Haitians that have amalgamated, that identify as Cuban. But their origin goes back to the tribe of Levi. Case in point, Guillermo Rigondeaux. Right? Boxer, if you follow the boxing world, you know about Guillermo Rigondeaux. If you watch the Olympics, going back to 2004, he's been gold medaling for Cuba, right? He identifies as a Cuban. He speaks Spanish. But his name is Guillermo, that's Spanish, but his last name is what? Rigondeaux. That's a French name, right? He's a Levite that's in Cuba. There's a lot of Levites in Cuba. You come to find out Haitian Creole is the #2 language spoken on the Isle of Cuba. It's swimming distance from Haiti. Many Haitians swam there. Yeah. During the time of the revolution, many white Frenchmen took their slaves from Haiti in fear of losing them and went to Cuba and brought their slaves to Cuba. So this been the same thing with Louisiana, same thing with Trinidad, same thing with St. Lucia. So the Levi, we really are scattered amongst the 12, though Haiti is our hub, right? Read on.
It says, but they were not found, therefore were they as polluted, put from the priesthood.
So they weren't being reckoned as priests because they didn't have the genealogical record. Right? Read on.
And the Tershitha said unto them that they should not eat of the most holy things until there stood up a priest.
Because it's a sin for a non-Levite to eat of those things, or somebody that's not in the house of Levi to eat of those things. They said don't do it until they can stand up a priest, what? Read?
With Urim and with Thummim.
Somebody who could go to the Most High with these things of what they would call divination, they would even call it, but righteously, the Urim and the Thummim, and determine as to whether or not somebody is what tribe. Okay, those things were oracles. Now we have the Torah for an oracle. We have the law. We have the prophecies for an oracle to let us know what tribe is what through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Right. So go ahead.
Back to Numbers.
Get back to Numbers.
Okay. This is Numbers chapter 26, verse. Let's see, where were we at? Gilead. Okay. This is Numbers chapter 26 and verse. I'm gonna just go back to 30. It says, "These are the sons of Gilead, of Jezer, the family of the Jezerites, of Helek, the family of the Helekites, and of Asriel, the family of the Asrielites, and of Shechem, the family of the Shechemites, and of Shemada, the family of the Shemadaites."
There are Levites in St. Lucia. St. Lucia is not Levi. St. Lucia is a cross between Benjamin and Levi. Same thing with Trinidad, Benjamin and Levi. Right? You go to Louisiana, you'll see Judites, Levites, Gadites. So there are Levites in St. Lucia. Probably about 40, 60, maybe 50-50. The brother that got killed in Dallas, Botham Shimjon, he's a Levite that's St. Lucian. He's a St. Lucian of Haitian descent. See what I'm saying? So there's a lot of, but what happens is after a couple generations, they're now just calling themselves St. Lucian. After a couple generations, they're calling themselves something else, or by the island that they've been living in versus the island that they originate. So there's a lot of Levites scattered. Again, Trinidad got a considerable amount of Levites, right? Guadeloupe is all Levite. Martinique, French Guiana, you got a lot of Levites in Suriname. Brazil, a lot of them Afro-Brazilians are Levites. Some of them are Asherites as well. But yeah, that brother say he needs to look into his family. He really just it's really as simple as finding out who owns you, the English or the French. Looking back enough in your family to see if your origin go back to that French last name or that English last name, because that substantiates who owns you and then where you came from. The Levites, the people with French last names who were brought to St. Lucia, were brought there from Haiti directly, right? They weren't always slaves in St. Lucia. Same way a lot of French took slaves from Haiti and brought them to Trinidad, and in particular, mostly Tobago, right? Just ask him his last name, and that should help pinpoint it, right? A lot of people down there in Louisiana have last names. The French last name, you go back to Levi. Brother Officer Yaya in the chat, right? His wife, we found out his wife is a Levite, right? So you just really got to do your family history, man. All right? Virgin Islands, a tribe of Benjamin. All right, but my father, he was just in the Virgin Islands. He was loving it. All right, made a post on the internet about that. All right, on Facebook. Levi, we love the Virgin Islands, but that's Benjamin's dwelling, right? So read.
Okay. It says, and of the heifer, the family of the Hepherites. I'm at verse 33, by the way, Hakim. And Zelophehad, the son of Heifer, had no sons, but daughters, and the names of the daughters of Zephaliad were Malah and Noah, Hagla, Milcah, and Tirzah. These are the families of the Manasseh, and those that were numbered of them, 52,700.
Manasseh's still pretty deep.
Yeah.
But it's crazy because Ephraim even bigger than Manasseh, but Manasseh is still pretty deep. Read on.
These are the sons of Ephraim after their families. Of Shuthelah, the family of the Shuthelites. Of Becher, the family of the Becherites. Of Tahan, the family of the Tahanites.
Salakia, the Belizeans, the indigenous one are Zebulon. The Negroes that came there are Benjamites. Right, that's the thing. The Afro-Central Americans are predominantly from the tribe of Benjamin. They're people who were brought there from the islands or migrated there from the islands. Then you have the indigenous brothers. That's the tribe of Zebulon, the descendants of the Mayans. Right? So read.
Okay. It says, and these are the sons of Shuthelah of Aran, the family of the Ammonites.
King Israel. That's why you have Judites, southern kingdom in Mexico. You have Reubenites in Mexico also. So it's a matter of making the due diligence to learn your family's history as far as you can understand it, right? To be able to determine. And worst case scenario, let's say you're identifying by the wrong tribe. Well, the Most High will sort it out in the end times,
okay.
Right? It's not a huge deal. You're an Israelite, right? What tribe are you from? You from all of them, right? We say that in the world. Which who are you from? I'm from all of them. You beef with one of us, you beef with all of us. It's the same thing with Israel, right? We're from all the tribes. We love all the tribes. We're together with all the tribes. We're one nation. You disrespect one of us, you disrespect all of us. You call them the Lahabanites or the Lahabites to the brother soldier Lahab, right? They're the Lahabites. Go ahead.
These are the families of the sons of Ephraim, according to those that were numbered of them, 32,500. These are the sons of Joseph after their families.
See that? So look, in this case, Ephraim went a little deeper than Manasseh, from 20 years old and upward. Read.
Come.
But see, Ephraim got a lot of women, got a lot of little kids, so that's why the numbers were low, right? Go ahead.
Come. Manasseh was deeper than Ephraim.
Well, when I say and that's what I'm saying, but Ephraim had a lot of, because it's only number 20 and up. Yeah. King Israel. When we say Mayan and Aztec, we're just generalizing the indigenous peoples of that region. I understand all people in Mexico were not Aztecs, and they had different tribal identities, but they all had a root. They were all the same people, though they were identifying differently. The same thing with the Central Americans. So I'm just using Mayan and Aztec as blanket terms for the indigenous peoples there, because there were more tribes than just Mayan and Aztec, but those were just the principal empires, right? So read.
Okay. This is verse 38. And the sons of Benjamin after their families, of Bala, the family of the Balaites, and of Ashbel, the family of the Ashbelites.
This is so-called West Indian, or what we call properly the Commonwealth Caribbeans. Okay, what is Commonwealth Caribbean? I'm going to read y'all the definition of Commonwealth Caribbean, right? Because it's not all West Indians technically, because technically Haitians are West Indians and Puerto Ricans are West Indians, and Dominicans are West Indians, right? But we have to deal with just awake. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai Barakatah Wata Wata. Can you break down Deuteronomy 20, 13, 17, 21? It's a topic I believe probably. Okay, make sure to hold that. We'll go into that for just awake. Okay, so real quick, I want to show this. I want to show this so you can understand exactly, to pinpoint exactly who the tribe of Benjamin is in specifics, right? Window capture. So we understand exactly what I'm talking about, exactly what we're talking about here. Called Commonwealth Caribbean. The Commonwealth Caribbean is a term applied to the English-speaking islands in the Caribbean and the mainland nations of Belize, formerly British Honduras, and Guyana, formerly British Guyana, that once constituted the Caribbean portion of the British Empire. Why? Because the Brits took the tribe of Benjamin down there into the West Indies, right? So these are the English-speaking islands, right? And then you have the Afro-Central Americans, which are also Benjamites. Then you have certain Afro-Central Americans like the Guyanese, right, who are also from the tribe of Benjamin. This is who the Benjaminites are. The Commonwealth Caribbean and the Afro Central Americans in particular. Right? So you can understand. Then Levi, we would predominantly be what you would call like the Franco-Caribbean. I believe that's what they call it, Franco-Caribbean, French-Caribbean, Franco-Caribbean. Yeah, we would be like what you would call the French Caribbeans, would be the tribe of Levi, right? But not just limited to French Caribbean. You got the French Caribbeans, many of the people of Suriname, Louisiana, the Afro-Argentines. You see what I'm saying? So it gets a little bit, with Levi, we're more scattered, so the list is longer, right? But overall, this is who we are, right? So read on. Let's go into that now.
Okay. This is
Go ahead.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 20 and verse 13, I think. Let me scroll. Let me make sure. Yeah, 13 to 17. It says, "And when Yahweh thy God hath delivered it into thy hands, thou shalt smite every male thereof with the edge of the sword.
Mm-hmm.
But the women and the little ones and the cattle and all that is in the city, even all the spoil thereof, shalt thou take unto thyself, and thou shalt eat the spoil of thine enemies, which Yahweh thy God hath given thee."
Well, yeah, that's not a prophecy. This is the instructions that the Most High gives us for when we go to war against somebody, right? But go ahead. I thought I was, well, you need to just go. Do you have Negro English last name, patrilineage, or is it indigenous, brother? You know what I'm saying? Do your due diligence, right? Read on.
It says, "Thus shalt thou do unto all
I
the
know Belizeans. I know some that I know a Belizean that's a Benjamite, but his sister is a Zebulonite because they got different fathers, right? Read on. But they both Belizean. Go ahead.
"Thus shalt thou do unto all the cities which are very far off from thee, which are not of the cities of these nations."
See that? So this is the instructions of what we do. So it's not necessarily a prophecy, but it's an instruction on how we go to war with people. Right? So go ahead.
"But of the cities of these people, which Yahweh thy God doth give thee for an inheritance, thou shalt save alive nothing that breatheth." Meaning,
when we go to war with the Canaanites, it's utter obliteration. When we go to war with other people, we take women and children into captivity. Right? So what's the other scripture?
Deuteronomy 21 and 10.
Uh-huh.
It says, "And when thou goest forth to war against thine enemies, and the Lord thy God hath delivered them into thine hands, and thou hast taken them captive," and it goes on to, "And thou seest the captives a beautiful woman, and hast desire unto her."
Is that a prophecy? What is the exact question?
Is it a prophet? Let me just read
prophecy.
It. It says,
these are just the instructions on how we go to war. That's all it is. So, what we can do to these people and how we're supposed to kill the people when we go to war. Did Levi employ that? Yes, we did. Because there were certain French women that were left alive, and then certain Levites did take the wife during that time. That did happen, right? So I wouldn't say it was prophetic, but it was the instructions that we did follow, right? Inherently, as the law commanded. So that's a valid point, right? But let's go back to Numbers. Go ahead.
This is Numbers 20, 26. Where did I leave off at? 39. Of Shufam, the family of the Shufanites, and of Hufam, the family of the Hufanites.
Mm-hmm.
And the sons of Bala were...
these are the so-called West Indians, the Commonwealth Caribbeans, the Benjamites. Read on.
"And the sons of Bala were Ard and Naaman. Of Ard, the family of the Ardites, and of Naaman, the family of the Naamites. These are the sons of Benjamin after their families.
Mm-hmm.
And they that were numbered of them were 45,600. These are the sons of Dan after their families. Of Shuam, the family of the Shuamites. These are the families of Dan after their families."
3 days of darkness is not real. That's not real. The Most High said the sun and the moon is going to come up and rise, set every day. All right? Every day. That's his ordinance. The white man can't tell you it's going to be dark for 3 days. A lot of y'all are new to this. You understand, a few years ago, there was the 6 days of darkness that they had. And they had a fake NASA report that said it was going to be dark for 6 days. None of that's real. Go ahead.
It says, "These are the sons of Benjamin." It says, "Naaman and Ard, the family of the Ardites, and of Naaman, the family of the Naamites. These are the sons of Benjamin after their families. And they that were numbered of them were 45,600. These are the sons of Dan after their families. Of Shuam, the family of the Shuamites. These are the families of Dan after their families. All the families of the Shuamites, according to those that were numbered of them, were 4,400. Of the children of Asher, after their families, of Jimnah, the family of the Jimnites, of Jesui, the family of the Jesuites, of Beriah, the family of the Berites, of the sons of Beriah, of Heber, the family of the Heberites, of Malchiel, the family of the Malchiites. And the name of the daughter of Asher was Sarah. These are the families of the sons of Asher, according to those that were numbered of them.
These are your Colombians to Uruguayans, so your indigenous South Americans, right? Read on.
Okay. It says who were 50,003,400 of the sons of Naphtali after their families of Jaziel.
I want to understand. You got somebody in Cardi B walking around, and you're telling me that there's no native Dominicans left. You got somebody like Amara La Negra walking around. You have first off, if you want to see where the native Dominicans are, turn on Baseball Tonight.
I was about to say, like, isn't Alex Rodriguez Dominican?
Yes.
Yeah.
Come on, man. These people are. They say that because they say the Aztecs were all killed too. But I see them.
They said Gad was
killed. They say Gad is all killed too, but they exist.
Well, they basically say all the North was killed.
They killed millions of people. Understand that. They killed about 23 million of the Latinos, right? From Mexico to Argentina, they killed about 23 million. But there was more than 23 million of them that existed. They killed a lot of them, but they did not kill all of them. Who they killed the most, I'm going to tell you who they killed the most of. The indigenous Jamaicans, that's who you don't see. They exist rarely, but you don't really see them. The indigenous Bahamians, you don't see them. You go to the Bahamas, you see black people. You go to Jamaica, you see black people. Because the indigenous people of those islands were pretty much exterminated. Some natives in certain places, like when you go to Texas, you don't see Native Americans native to Texas because the ones that weren't Mexican, that were native that were the Gadites that were there, they were killed. Period. That happened, right? So no white man did not just totally exterminate any of our people, right? But they killed a lot of them. So go ahead.
It says,
there you go, Kazakh, beautiful thing. There's no end to the nations, right? So read.
This is Numbers 26, and I'm gonna get back to verse 45. Verse 48. And the sons of Naphtali after their families of Jaziel, the family of the Jazielites.
These are your Chileans and Argentinian to Chilean indigenous, right? The Mapuche people and etc. Right? Read on.
Of Ganai, the family of the Ganites. Of Jezer, the family of the Jezerites. Of Shilom, the family of the Shilemites. These are the families of Naphtali according to their families, and they that were numbered of them were 45,400. These were the numbered of the children of Israel, 600,000 and 1,730.
600,000. These are the ones 20 years old and up, were men ready to go to war. Go ahead.
And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying,
that's a hell of an army. 600,000 niggas.
Yeah,
that's an army. Read.
Unto these the land shall be divided for an inheritance according to the number of names. To many thou shalt give the more inheritance, and to the few thou shalt give the less inheritance.
So you give according to the amount of people that's needed, right? Read on.
To everyone that shall his inheritance be given according to those that were numbered of him. Notwithstanding, the land shall be divided by lot, according to the names of the tribes of their fathers they shall inherit. According to the lot shall the possession thereof be divided between many and few. And these are they that were numbered of the Levites, after their families of Gershon, the family of the Gershonites, of Kohath, the family of the Kohathites, of Merari, the family of the Merarites. These are the
Levites. When they're being numbered separately from the rest of Israel. Go ahead.
It says, these are the families of the Levites, the family of the Libnites, the family of the Hebronites, the family of the Malites, the family of the Mushites, the family of the Korathites, and Kohath begat Amram. And Amram, in the name of Amram's wife was Jochebed, the daughter of Levi, whom her mother bare to Levi in Egypt, and she bare unto Amram, Aaron, and Moses, and Miriam their sister. And unto Aaron was born Nadab, and Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. And Nadab and Abihu died when they offered strange fire before Yahweh. And those that were numbered of them were 23,000, all males from a month old and upward, for they were not numbered among the children of Israel, because there was no inheritance given them among the children of Israel. These are they that were numbered by Moses and Eleazar the priest, who numbered the children of Israel in the plains of Moab by Jordan near Jericho. But among these there was not a man of them whom Moses and Aaron the priest numbered, when they numbered the children of Israel in the wilderness of Sinai. For Yahweh said of them, they shall surely die in the wilderness, and there was not left a man of them save Caleb the son of Jephunneh and Joshua the son of Nun. Read through 27.
Yeah, we're going to read it to the end of 27.
Okay.
So the only Israelites, again, that made it all the way through were Joshua and Caleb. Right? Read on.
This is Numbers chapter 27, verse 1. It says, Then came the daughter of Zelophehad, the son of Hepher, the son of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, of the families of Manasseh, the son of Joseph. And these are the names of his daughters, Mahlah, Noah, and Hoglah, and Milcah, and Tirzah. And they stood before Moses and before Eleazar the priest, and before the princes of all the congregation, by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, saying, Our father died in the wilderness, and he was not in the company of them that gathered themselves together against Yahweh in the company of Korah, but died in his own sin and had no sons. Why should the name of our father be done away from among his family, because he hath no son? Give unto us therefore a possession among the brethren of our father.
So it's your sisters, right? And they're like, look, we need a possession amongst in this tribe, right? It's tribe of Judah, right? So go ahead.
And Moses brought their cause before Yahweh. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, The daughters of Zelophehad speak right. Thou shalt surely give them a possession of.
Yeah, that's right. They need a land. Just because they're not. Well, this shows you. This is crazy because it's showing you that a woman on her own is not a landowner, right? She either needs to be in her father's house, or she needs to be in her husband's house. These women have the disposition of not having a father or husbands, right? Read on.
Okay. It says, Thou shalt surely give them a possession of an inheritance among their father's brethren, and thou shalt cause the inheritance of their father to pass unto them.
So they are going to get their father's inheritance, right? Read on.
And thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel, saying, If a man die and have no son, then he shall cause his inheritance to pass unto his daughter. And if he have no daughter, then he shall give his inheritance unto his brethren. And if he have no brethren, then he shall give his inheritance unto his father's brethren. And if his father have no brethren, then he shall give.
So basically, if he don't got a brother, give it to his uncle. Read.
And then he shall give his inheritance unto his kinsman that is next to him.
Listen, whoever the next nearest kinsman is, he got to get it. Right? Read.
Of his family, and he shall possess it. And it shall be unto the children of Israel a statute of judgment, as Yahweh commanded Moses.
Read on.
And the Lord said unto Moses, Get thee up into this Mount Abiram.
The whole purpose of all this is because inheritances should not pass from tribe to tribe. Judah's land is Judah's land, is Judah's land, is Judah's land. Right? The suburbs that Judah gives to Levi is Levi's. Benjamin's is Benjamin. You see what I'm saying? All the way down. Everybody, a Judite is not supposed to be owning land in Benjamin. Right? A Manassite is not supposed to be owning land in Issachar. Right? Everybody's supposed to have land in their own tribes. Marissa Younger, Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatah Wathawada says. Go ahead.
It says, And Yahweh said unto Moses, Get thee up into this Mount Abiram, and see the land which I have given unto the children of Israel. And when thou hast seen it, thou shalt be gathered unto thy people, as Aaron thy brother was gathered. For he rebelled against my commandment in the desert of Zin, in the strife of the congregation, to sanctify me at the water before their eyes, that is the water at Meribah in Kadesh, in the wilderness of Zin. And Moses spake unto Yahweh, saying, Let the Lord, the God of the spirits of all flesh, set a man over the congregation, which may go out before them, and which may go in before them, and which may lead them out, and which may bring them in, that the congregation of Yahweh be not as sheep which have no shepherd. And
Yahweh like we are now.
Yeah.
Because Moses knew that's problematic. Now look at Israel as sheep with no shepherd. Now look. Right? Read on.
And Yahweh said unto Moses, Take thee Joshua the son of Nun, a man in whom is the Spirit,
brother of the tribe of Ephraim. Read on.
And lay thine hand upon him, and set him before Eleazar the priest, and before all the congregation, and give him a charge in their sight. And thou shalt put some of thine honor upon him, and that all the congregation of the children of Israel may be obedient. And he shall stand before Eleazar.
Notice though, it says some of thy honor.
Yeah.
That goes to prove that he's not the one that's like unto Moses. He's only some of his honor. Not all of it. Yeah. Just give him some though. Honor that man. But he's still not on Moses' level, right? Read on.
And he shall stand before Eleazar the priest, who shall ask counsel for him after the judgment of Urim before Yahweh. At his
meaning
word.
He's not dealing with Urim. Why isn't he dealing with Urim? Because he's an Ephraimite. So Ephraim got Santeria now. But if they want to really get on the level, they got to come to voodoo. I told this story multiple times. It was an Ephraimite, so-called Puerto Rican woman, brother was talking to, and she was telling her brother that she does Santeria, right? She had on these beads. I'm going to tell you it's cold. She had these beads, and as soon as the brother, she got in the presence, brother, they broke, right? Because there's certain they're using certain enchantments, but when you're in the spirit of the Most High, it's defying all this black magic, this weak magic, because we're in the spirit of the true and living God.
They put the beads on their arms.
She had a beads on her. She had like a beaded a Santeria beaded bracelet, and it just snapped, right? Or she had hopped in the car with her brother and it snapped, letting you know it had no power and the Most High is protecting us. So he tells her, when she's telling him this witchcraft man that she's into, he said, look, well, this brother is Haitian, right? So she run up to me and she asked me to teach her voodoo. Why? Because Joshua couldn't deal with Urim. He had to go to Eleazar, right? But it's just going to show you the Most High with the spiritual gifts and us taking and tainting it and turning it to the left-hand side. But it all is very consistent with the truth and what we're saying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, so you can understand. But go ahead.
I just want a real quick precept, because this is how you know we're the children of Israel, that the sister that you were saying, she had beads around her arms doing witchcraft, right? This is Ezekiel 13 and 18. And say, thus saith Yahweh, woe to the women that sew pillows to all armholes. And when you go into
it's a bracelet.
It's a bracelet. Yeah.
Beautiful precept.
And make kerchiefs upon the head of every stature to hunt souls.
Yeah, because the kerchiefs, they be putting them different rags, and they say, oh, this is going to protect you if you wear this. Like Levi will have go to the priestess, and she'll say, listen, as long as you wear this, nothing bad can happen to you. Yeah. Right? Go ahead.
Upon the head of every stature to hunt souls.
And they'll put it on the idols too. They'll put them different rags on the idols. Be a bandana. That's what a kerchief is, like a bandana. Read.
And will ye save the souls alive that come unto you? And will ye pollute me among my people for handfuls of barley and for pieces of bread?
Basically, I'm doing witchcraft in exchange for money, and I'm causing Israel to go into idolatry, right? Read. That's what they're saying the women were doing, which are your voodoo priestesses, your Santeria priestesses, Santa Muerte that they have, Brujeria, all of that madness. Witch doctors amongst the tribe of Gad and Reuben. Read.
It says, it says to slay the souls that should not die, and to save the souls alive that should not live, by your lying to my people that hear your lies.
Yeah, which is a fortune telling. You see a botanica, what's going to be? Fortune telling, palm reading. That's the lies, right? So read.
I'm going to just read this last one, then we get back to Numbers. I'm going to jump to verse 22. It says, because the lies ye have made the heart of the righteous, because with lies ye have made the heart of the righteous sad, whom I have not made sad, and strengthened the hands of the wicked, that he should not return from
you took the righteous person, came and got their palm read. You say, oh, you're going to die in 2 years, you'll be dead.
Yeah.
Then you went to the wicked, you're going to be rich. See that's what they do. Read.
It says, whom I have not made sad, and strengthened the hands of the wicked, that he should not return from his wicked way by promising him life.
See that? So you're going to live a long, prosperous life, but you're going to be dead in 2 years. Yep. That's the type of madness they go into Botanica and they listen to. Right, so read.
That's on that really. I mean, we could go on.
Go ahead. We might have to do a whole a specific lesson on that. But go ahead.
This is Numbers 27 and 22. And Moses did as Yahweh commanded him, and he took Joshua and set him before Eleazar the priest and before all the congregation. And he laid his hands upon him and gave him a charge as Yahweh commanded by the hand of Moses. That's it on that.
It's on 27? Okay, with that, we're going to wrap up here, but I want to say the water to everybody who gave a super chat, man. We're going to say Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, Barakathum, and Kohallah Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. Can we explain? Just watch our debates on who Esau is, and you'll find in-depth explanations to the spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. With that, Shalom.